On October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610 plunged into the Java Sea, killing all 189 people on board. Less than 5 months later, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 suffered the same fate, claiming 157 lives. Both crashes involved Boeing's newest aircraft, the 737 MAX, designed to be the future of commercial aviation. But instead, it became one of the industry's greatest scandals. What went wrong? And how did it change aviation forever? The Boeing 737 MAX was introduced in 2011 as Boeing's response to its rival, Airbus. Airbus had launched the A320neo, promising better fuel efficiency and lower operating costs. To compete, Boeing needed to act fast. Rather than designing an entirely new aircraft, they opted to modify their bestseller, the 737, a model originally introduced in 1967. But adding larger, more fuel-efficient engines to the 737 posed a challenge. The engines didn't fit well under the plane's low wings. To solve this, Boeing moved the engines forward and higher on the wings. This change altered the plane's aerodynamics, increasing the risk of the nose pitching up during flight, a potentially catastrophic problem. To address this issue, Boeing implemented the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS. This software automatically pushed the plane's nose down if it detected that the angle of attack, the angle between the wing and the oncoming airflow, was too steep. On paper, MCAS was a smart solution, but there was a catch. MCAS relied on data from a single angle of attack sensor. If that sensor failed or gave incorrect readings, MCAS could activate unnecessarily, forcing the plane into a dangerous dive. And that's exactly what happened on both Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. Pilots weren't adequately trained on MCAS. In fact, many didn't even know it existed, as Boeing downplayed its importance to reduce the need for costly simulator training. The Lion Air crash in October 2018 should have been a wake-up call. Investigators found that a faulty angle of attack sensor triggered MCAS repeatedly, leading to the crash. Boeing assured airlines that the plane was safe, issuing only a brief bulletin on how to handle a potential MCAS malfunction. But on March 10, 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed under nearly identical circumstances. Within days, countries worldwide began grounding the 737 MAX. On March 13, 2019, the FAA, under mounting pressure, followed suit, grounding all 737 MAX aircraft in the United States. As investigations unfolded, it became clear that the 737 MAX crisis wasn't just a technical failure, it was a systemic one. Internal emails revealed a troubling culture at Boeing. In one exchange, an employee wrote, "This airplane is designed by clowns, who in turn are supervised by monkeys." Boeing had prioritized speed and cost over safety. To rush the MAX to market, the company cut corners in its development and downplayed the risks of MCAS. The FAA, the regulatory body tasked with ensuring aircraft safety, also faced criticism for its reliance on Boeing to self-certify parts of the plane's design. The 737 MAX grounding lasted 20 months, the longest in aviation history. Airlines were forced to cancel thousands of flights, losing billions in revenue. Boeing faced lawsuits, government investigations, and over $20 billion in direct costs. Passenger confidence in the 737 MAX plummeted. In a 2019 survey by Bank of America, 40% of respondents said they would avoid flying on the plane, even if it was deemed safe. Meanwhile, other manufacturers like Airbus gained market share. The A320neo became the go-to choice for airlines looking for efficient, reliable aircraft. After extensive redesigns, the 737 MAX was recertified in November 2020. Changes included updates to the MCAS system, which now relies on data from multiple sensors, and improved pilot training programs. But rebuilding trust wasn't easy. Boeing launched a PR campaign to reassure the public, and airlines offered passengers the option to rebook flights if they were uncomfortable flying on the MAX. By 2023, The 737 MAX had returned to service in most countries, logging millions of flight hours without incident. But the scars of the crisis remain. The 737 MAX crisis prompted significant changes in aviation. Regulatory bodies like the FAA adopted stricter oversight procedures, and Boeing restructured its safety protocols. But the incident also raised deeper questions. Can we trust manufacturers to prioritize safety over profit? And has the aviation industry learned enough to prevent another tragedy? The story of the 737 MAX serves as a stark reminder that in aviation, cutting corners can have catastrophic consequences. For Boeing and the industry as a whole, it's a lesson paid for in lives lost, and one that must never be forgotten. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into aviation and beyond.